Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Imperator Rome. This is now finally live. If you wish to buy the game, you can do so. And the other thing is, I can now talk about this completely openly. The embargo is up, and reviews are now allowed. So if you have any questions and you want the genuine answer, rather than just, I can't talk about that right now, do let me know. Huzzah! Dana Jessica Booth, thank you very much for the 15-month subscription, and thank you very, very much for all the work you do as a moderator as well. I really do appreciate that. That's super awesome of you. Thank you. And Don Bassos, 20-month streak. Crikey. By my beard, that's a glorious Dwarven Empire. I don't know why that went slightly Irish. It should have been Scottish if we're doing Dwarven thing. But here we go. Yes, thank you, everyone. And Dana, thank you very much for the 15 months as well. That's pretty impressive. And there we go. Roman Peter asking the really important question. Do I like the game? And I have been thinking about my answer for a while. As a gut reaction, yes. But. And there is definitely a but here. But don't worry. It's not a bad but. Okay, let's stop talking about buts now. It's not a bad one. So, would I recommend the game? Yes, if you like the gameplay that you've seen so far. If you're just coming into this from another Paradox game and you like grand strategy, absolutely, it's great. It'll basically fill all the needs and wants that you want to have from this game. If you're not really into grand strategy, then it is a little bit of a bigger ask. Mechanically and design-wise, the game is excellent. Like, I can see this is a fantastic foundation. We know how Paradox works. Paradox releases DLCs which expand and enhance the game, and I can see a couple of areas. Naval Warfare, which they've already announced, is going to get a big improvement in June. I think I can now talk about the dates for that as well. Not dates, but June is when the next big patch is going to be. And the UI. Unfortunately, having seen European Universalis 4 when it first released, and they put a huge amount of effort into the UI, that was really quite good. The UI for this is a bit lacking. Like, there's some very important information which is hidden or just not available. The lack of a ledger is criminal. Some of the map modes could do with a bit of enhancement. The fact that there is no, like, provincial overview, even though a lot of province stuff is done from here. The fact that you can't see at a glance, like, your cultures, your total population cultures and that type of thing, could really do with some work. However, that's fixable. Like, the underpinning game, the underpinning design, all that stuff is excellent. I really like how they've broken up the population. I kind of like the trade. I think my issues with trade are, again, UI. I like migration and colonization. I think those are probably my favourite facets of the game so far, which is why I've been doing so much of it with Langobards. I like the idea of how combat works. I haven't fought a particularly big war or anything like that. Partially, I think, because manpower is so low. I do think that they could do with increasing the amount of manpower available a little bit and reducing the number of mercenaries around, which they've already said they're going to do, the mercenary part anyway. So yes, I like the game. I think it's good. I think it has real potential going forwards. I can see the areas where they're probably going to be working on this initially, and there's lots of other room for improvement. For example, just making the map bigger. Like, this area, I would not at all be surprised if we see added in the future. So I like it. I really like it. I think it's going to be very good. But the UI is like a big issue for me. And I'm a little bit disappointed with what they've done on that. There are a couple of ease of use and quality of life features which I've just not been using. So, for example, you have this button here, select unit objective, and you can completely automate them. I haven't used it, I haven't really needed to, because my armies, well, my nation hasn't been big enough for me to need that. But if you're playing as someone like Carthage, where you can have lots of different spheres of operation, then being able to automate your troops in, like, Iberia while you're fighting a war against Egypt or Rome would be really, really helpful. The other area, or the other thing where that's probably going to be really good is naval. Like, seeing that Shen was automating his fleets hadn't even occurred to me that you can do that. So there are a couple of things which I definitely need to play with, just to see how it works. So yeah. Another thing is a little bit of the balance for the monarch point seems to be a bit off. There is a ton of uses for oratory. There are a ton of uses for civic Religious could do with a couple more. I mean, it's decent, but I do very often find that I have too many religious points, and I do not like how expensive military traditions are. Like, you have to gather up like 2,000 points when everything else costs like 100, kind of as an outlier maximum. It just feels weird. I think that there should be more uses for military power. I don't know exactly how that should translate into the tradition progression. I'd also kind of like to see some traditions which aren't necessarily militaristic. So maybe have a spread of different point uses you can use. So if you want to get one of these big bonuses, then you spend maybe a big chunk from one of these 4 categories, and then have something else that you can spend the military points on. I don't know how. I haven't really thought about that. But it just feels a little bit weird. Again, that's just a matter of tweaking a few things, and I think it's entirely fixable. There are very few, if any, like, critical, I don't like this game because points. Like, I think it's a little weaker than it could be because of the UI, but that is not game-breaking. That is not me going, Aruga, this is terrible, like Death of Dishonor was when it released, where I actually put out a video saying, do not buy this, it's awful. So yes, I like it. Would I recommend it? Yes. But not like, without the asterisk. Like, with the asterisk, it's like, be aware that this is a brand new release, it has a few niggling issues, I am sure that they will fix it. Give it a grade on a scale of 1 to 10. That's a good question, actually. Like, I would have put European Universalis when it released. Like, I consider EU4 at release a high point. Like, that is how to release a new grand strategy. Crusader Kings 2, I didn't really play from release, so I couldn't really say. Stellaris at release was solid, but had underlying issues, which didn't really emerge until you played quite a lot more of it. I'll probably give this a 7. Between a 7 and an 8. Like, for me, the UI is a big issue because I like getting that information, I like delving deeper. Someone who just wants to go and conquer the world as Rome can do that without too many problems. So yeah, I'd say the 7 is fair. Like, U4 when it released was probably an 8.5 or a 9. 7.5, there you go, 7.5 to 8. It's solid. That's how I would describe this. Is it great? Not yet. Will it be? Possibly. But also, it's not poor. I like how I didn't say anything about Hearts of Iron 4 at release. I didn't actually mind Hearts of Iron 4 at release that much. I actually feel like the AI for Hoi 4 has gone down since they released it, not up. Like, the addition of the Field Marshal front lines, I feel broke the AI. I don't remember having big problems with the front lines until that released. Sure, the AI did other stupid things, but it's the front lines that's the game breaker for me. How am I playing? The game's not responding for me. It's working for me. And this is release patch. I just, well, I didn't uninstall it, but I removed the review bit. Basically, it's a beta, so you can remove the beta and it will just upload the latest update, and that's what's happened. We are playing the release version right now. And it seems to be safe game compatible, because I'm still here in the Langobards. So, note that this might break, because I do believe that there has been an update. I don't know what they've changed in that update. I've not seen any patch changes. It might just be saying, okay, this is now released. Here's the code which says that. I don't know how this works. I'm a designer, I'm not a programmer. Anyway, so if you have any other questions for things that you want me to take a look... Alright, stream over. Everyone enjoy your day. Thanks, Marshall. Yeah, I front-loaded this a bit too much, didn't I? So yeah, if you want me to delve deeper into anything, if you want me to give more of a critique or a criticism of any particular features in particular, wow, that's terrible English, then do let me know, and I will do so. In the meantime, I'm just going to go and play. I'm a Viking, Jim, not a doctor. Damn it, Jim. I'm a Viking, not a doctor. But I am a game designer, so there are a couple of things which I will be very critical about. And that's also why it's actually kind of impressive that I'm not being critical about the game design itself. I think that's really good. And it does a lot of things I really like. Now, back to the actual game that we are playing here. I am still working on technology, so we need to try and save up the oratory to just continue spamming out citizens. So let's go to the promote pops, free men, and then sort this by province, because I want to continue improving this province in particular. Because it and my capital have gold, and gold means happy citizens. And in fact, let's oh dear, why are you not very happy? That's because you're a Dacian. Okay, you're wrong culture. You guys are pretty pleased, actually. 86. That's good. That is entirely acceptable. So how are the barbarians looking? That barbarian camp actually looks like it may disappear at some point not too far away, not too distant. This one seems rather tougher for some reason. Oh, because the adjacent civilization is low, because they keep on burning toll. Although the civilization here is improving. Do we have civilization improvement turned on? We do. And in fact, the provincial loyalty in virtually every single province is going up. I'm seeing one negative in Amadocia and one negative in Buria. And I think Buria has been negative for a while, even though it's only down to 99. You want to import wood? Absolutely. Star Trek references. I'm still kind of giggling at the fact I've been watching a lot of The Mentalist recently, and a bunch of Star Trek actors keep on popping up. Like we had Tucker and Dr. Plox in one episode, just like next to each other, and they kept on having like discussions and dialogue between them, and it was hilarious. And then also a later one, there was Neelix playing as an alientologist, which was just hilarious. I was just so happy about that. Oh man, it was funny. Ran an organization for those who had met aliens. Like alien encounters. Alright, so, barbarians, again. Coming to Toll? You're coming to Toll, so I'm going to let you arrive, then we're just going to attack you. We could bring in the cavalry if we need to, but I don't think we need to. The Segimandri should be capable of dealing with this. Who's the leader right now? That is, in fact, the leader. Where is Ingolt? Ingolt. Oh, Gundred is now the next in line, not Geroldus. Interesting. There it goes. Battle is joined. Battle is won. You're going to run here. Heretica. Yep. Trade hub developing. The little-known city of Venediciana has been gathering quite a reputation as a hub of free trade. People from all origins are beginning to flock here in order to sell their wares on our land. So we can get tribesmen, Swabian tribesmen, slaves, or promote the growth. I'm going to promote the slave market. Although Venetica, I think, already has... Oh no, this is actually a good place for slaves, because Amber. And we have the surplus, do we not? No, we do not. Huh. Alright, well, Rugia already has a bunch of slaves. And Rugia is an amber producer, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to move these two to Rugia. Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait. No. Venedica. Rugia is the province. Stupid. Wasted 3 points. Venedicia. Move to Venedica. 11. We need 15. You move. Venedica. You move. Venedica. I'm so happy that someone pointed out that you can actually go all the way across your entire province rather than space by space. Could have saved myself so many points earlier. But never mind. How many do you have? 14. You need just one more. Ah, and there is one. Excellent. You move to Venedico. You can also go to adjacent if it's in a different province. And now, you produce vegetables. It was Vistula. Oh hell, I may even send it to Benediciana. They were going to the wrong place. Damn it. Stupid, 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 stupid. Stupid, 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 stupid. Nervous about getting into this game. Why is that, Kaylee? And there are the dead people, and we get another pop in Nibdura. Excellent! This place produces grain and livestock. It's going to have a pretty good... Oh, and fish. This is actually going to have a really good population growth. Interesting. Because Paradox, that's why. Paradox games are pretty addictive. I'm guessing it's the addictive quality that you're talking about there. Venedikiana, Venedikiana. Full ill. Venedikiana, Venedikiana. Up to 9. And then here we can probably go ahead and start building some marketplaces. Spend our money on that. Seems like a worthy investment. 600 plus hours in Crusader Kings 2, still crap at it. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I still don't consider myself particularly good at Crusader Kings. My top game is still definitely EU4. How much do I have in Crusader Kings? That's a good question. Crusader Kings, I have 742. Europe and Versailles, I have 1,800. Imperator Rome, 100. But take that with a pinch of salt, because I had the issue where the game continued running even when I turned it off. So there's probably about 24 hours extra there. So I've probably played it for about 80 now. And Stellaris. Where's Stellaris? There it is. 343. Done the least in Stellaris. Oh, and that other game, beginning with hearts and ending with iron. 850. Still not entirely convinced that you can be good at Crusader Kings. Yeah, I think the thing with CK2 is there are too many random variables which you have very little control over. I mean, the best you can do is mitigate the bad things that can happen. Okay, now we're producing amber, which we are going to export to Ciscopathia. Oh, I feel like we were already exporting one. Where is... there it is. So we need to cancel one of the trade routes. Yeah, we were in fact buying one amber from there already. So let's go ahead and cancel the livestock. And then we'll need to wait for the civic power to grow and we'll start buying in amber. That does mean less and less pop growth there. But if we get to the stage where we can begin importing more food again, we will do so. How are we doing for score? 4th! We've overtaken Iberia. Now we need to take down Macedon, South Toninandu, and of course, the glory of Rome. Gudrid just died. He was my heir. Oh, Geroldus is back in. Geroldus, however, is 71. Oh, no. Gundred is back in. Gundred's kid. So we kind of need Geroldus' heir to take over. Who is your heir? That would be Horgric. Horgric's okay. I mean, he's terrible at oratory, but he's okay in everything else. Right. We need a governor of Pannonia. So, Pannonia is this one. We have one level 9, who gives extra fort defense. We have a level 8, who's not particularly loyal. Freeman output if we have the level 7. Nah, I think we're going to go with the level 9. I'd good. Or we could go Hrogric Geraldus and get him some experience. Slave output, enslavement efficiency. And Pannonia is one of the ones with a garrison. We're going to put Hrogric in, get him some prominence going. Look at me playing politics. Ah, we have a level 11 commander. Now, command isn't as important for the barbarians, or the military stats aren't as important for the barbarians as they are for Rome. So I think I am going to put my level 11 as a scientist. So that we can get loads and loads of juicy tech. Nom 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 nom. And we can now do a trade route in Abdura, which is going to be for Amber. And now the ruler is going to gain that popularity. And we also generate another 5% base tax from here. Although base tax is the purview of slaves, we have got quite a few slaves. So, good. Wow, we have 10,000 manpower. Sweet. What's happening in the rest of the world? Macedon is spreading further north. Going into Serbia. Thrace is mostly in Bulgaria, and north into Crimea, Ukraine. Phrygian are having a revolt. Paphlagonia is quite strong. Moria still having this civil war. Hell of a civil war that is too. Blemia hasn't been gobbled up by Egypt. I think Egypt's having a bad game. I don't know why, but they are. Carthage is still holding its own. Venalia, Constantiana, and also kind of Aracomica are all seeming to rise. You want to import the livestock, which I am now no longer exporting to my own province. That's fine, you can have that. Trying to play Imperator and it won't launch. I guess I got lucky? Because like I said, I am playing with the release version right now. The chiefs of Liguria have sent an envoy proclaiming that harvest, trade and taxation have all produced a huge surplus this year. In a splendid show of national spirit, they've decided to offer the additional income to the state. Perhaps we should let them spend the money for their own uses, however. They can gain a free marketplace of 33 ducats. Considering a marketplace costs 100, that's saving us 66. Aha, just got in. Excellent. There's a thunderstorm here? Yeah, you're further north from me. No thunder here. Don't think there's even any scheduled. We have scheduled thunderstorms. We don't. It's just the Met Office. No, not even rain. It's boring here. Quite warm. And the fourth war host, right, this was the Geraldus, no, the other dude's army, which we should probably just delete. Are there any units here that I want to keep? I don't think so. I mean, we could keep some of the horses. You know what, I might do that. Let's keep those 3 horses. And then just get rid of the rest. $13k stack of cavalry. I'm here because apparently Paradox has decided to make the tooltips not scale. Much you know, who cares about sight impaired gamers, right? Huh? I tested it. It did. Let me just test that again, because it definitely did. I showed you how it worked. So tooltips... Actually, tooltips are already quite large. Wait, did I ever... Maybe they don't. I hadn't quite realised how large they are already. Interface. I'm already on 0.9. So if we went to 0.2... Oh, they do scale. That definitely scales. This is definitely scaling, Katie. Yeah, that definitely scaled. Whether it scales enough is up to you. I can't really comment on that fact, but it definitely scales. And yes, I'm not playing at the maximum level because I do find these windows get too big and they block too much of the game. So that's just my preference. And if it already scales to 1.2, then there might be a way of editing the ini to get it to scale further. I mean, if the scaling is already supported, then it shouldn't be that difficult to make it go bigger. I mean, I'm saying that from the perspective of someone who doesn't program. And I know programmers want to hit us designers whenever we say it shouldn't be that hard. But it does scale. And you can make it scale like completely the other way as well. Like, this is going to be horrifically small. Whoa, okay. Oh man. Anyone got a microscope? I mean, if you want, you can see a huge amount of the screen. Yeah, let's oh man, that's horrible. Interface. Barely see the button. That's 0.7. That's 0.8. 0.9 is like the good middle ground.